It is Monday, and it is the first day of April. And just to let you know, you have nothing to worry about. I have not had the time to even consider any April Fool's shenanigans for the program tonight. So for at least the next half hour, no worries on that front. I can't speak for the rest of your evening, however, of course, or the day leading up to it, but it's just April the 1st here on Your News Today. Number of headlines to get to this evening. I do want to make mention of a couple. We'll be sitting down with our McGoffin County champion, our 15th region champions and Sweet 16 contestants, and a wrap-up that will include the bit of the parade that was held Friday in their honor, and that will be, of course, happening after school comes back in because it's spring break this week. And the McGoffin County archery program. My goodness, how far they have come, and they continue to lead. And now we have a state champion to talk about when classes get back in. Spring break, again, a lot of folks traveling, just not here, and that's just a couple of things that we'll be putting on the back burner until next week. A host of other news, however, and information to get to tonight, and that will include your forecast, which has us on the lookout tomorrow for the potential of some severe weather. I'll give you the timeline to the best of my ability in just a few moments. Another fatal ambulance accident in Kentucky. State police saying this morning that 2 people were killed, 2 others injured in Garrett County in a collision involving a semi-truck and an ambulance, a Somerset-Pulaski County ambulance that reportedly struck a semi when it pulled into the front or into the path of that ambulance as the large truck made a left turn, being operated by 44-year-old Corey Dunn. What I understand is that 26-year-old Chastain McWhorter was operating the ambulance, and he and a patient, 75-year-old Robert Caudle, who was in the patient compartment, were pronounced dead at the scene. The passenger in the ambulance, the other EMT, 23-year-old Bailey Hines, was taken to the UK Medical Center with non-life-threatening injuries. The driver of the semi also not seriously injured as the investigation continues. 2 ATV accidents to report to you tonight. The first in Breathitt County, in Jackson, where yesterday morning, just shortly before noon, state police out of Post 13 got a call involving a single vehicle accident in Jackson. They found that a 19-year-old out of Florence was actually operating an ATV on private property. Helmets were being worn by both the teenager and the 5-year-old who was thrown from the vehicle. The child was pronounced dead at the scene by the Breathitt County Coroner's Office. The teenager was taken to the Kentucky River Medical Center for non-life-threatening injuries. Again, helmets were in use at the time of the collision, which is still being handled by the Kentucky State Police. No description of the actual vehicle or how the accident happened in and of itself. Here in McGoffin County, over the course of the weekend, 2 juveniles were airlifted from a 4-wheeler crash on Pricey here in McGoffin County. Both were on the same 4-wheeler, which for an unknown reason left the roadway after coming out of a curve, veering off to the right side of the road off the shoulder, and then striking a tree, as I understand, head-on, ejecting both from the ATV. Both were airlifted. One suffered lesser injuries and I think has since returned home. The other, according to his parents, will recover from what were much more serious injuries, including a lacerated ear and several internal injuries and fractures and the like. But both kids, both young men, both teammates here in McGoffin County Schools will recover. We are very glad to report a little longer of a recovery for one than the other, but nevertheless, good news. Good news. I'll go back to Friday's show where I had some good news coming from the McGoffin County school system, and I'm going to replay that. We didn't get it on line after I had to be out of the office during the 6 o'clock time frame to cover the parade. So I've got a minute. We'll talk about that and remind everyone about what happens a week from today in just a second.
There are several risk factors that may put a patient at risk for heart disease.
Especially people who have diabetes or hypertension or high cholesterol and have a family history of heart disease.
Neglecting to see a cardiologist can put you in trouble. You may develop problems that may not be reversible.
We see many people who do not have an actual diagnosis of a heart problem, but may be at risk of heart disease, and we do whatever we can to help mitigate that risk to help prevent disease in the future. ARH. More for Appalachia.
Sagersville National Bank hopes to help you start the new year with financial freedom and peace of mind. From new services like Apple and Google Pay with your debit card to their more than century of being dedicated to being your personal or business banking institution, they're here for you with digital, phone, or in-person banking at both locations. They're where every day starts, it's made, and it ends. From hitting the floor to hitting the road and back, your feet carry the day's duties. And if you're hurting from what might be a work or sports or stress-related fracture you don't even know about, diabetic, or that all too often heel pain that just won't go away, or any type of pain or discomfort or in need of wound care, come to where they care.
Put your best foot forward and come visit our podiatry team. We care about our patients and their feet.
That's Dr. Cheney and her team at Hope Family Podiatry Center next to Hope Family Pediatrics on the Mountain Parkway.
I believe in Kentucky.
I believe in Kentucky.
I believe in small town values.
And mom and dad and the things they handed down.
I believe some of the best people in the world are farmers.
I believe in insurance that protects families, homes, and cars.
I believe in always finding a way to do what you love.
I am Kentucky.
I am Kentucky.
I am Kentucky.
You've seen the forecast, right? You know what season it is, so it is time to get ready. With New Year deals that are worth up to $200 off a new set of tires, and get your car running like new with only a $35 state-of-the-art computer diagnosis, and save all the payments for later with 6 months same as cash at Conley Tire and ConleyTire.net.
Had more than one scheduled appointment today, so with that time being spent there, I wanted to go back, and it was such a great story Friday, and a lot of folks I know missed it because they were coming, as I was, to downtown Saggers before the parade. So as we were looking at this past Friday, seniors in the Montgomery County High School were looking back as some kindergartners were being asked to look ahead, and these kids, these students, these seniors going back to where it began for them, back to their elementary schools. Groups of seniors went to all three of the Montgomery County elementary schools last week, taking with them a little inspiration to try to make sure that even the young ones realize that now's the time to start getting to school, make sure that you're there, and it's never too young to start to focus on being there. And at the same time, a little fun. It was story time with one of the favorite Dr. Seuss books. It was a program that was actually initiated and brought up last year by Superintendent of Schools Chris Meadows, who had the idea, and with it got a standing ovation this year and was asked to return. Standing ovation similar to the one that these kindergartners got as they came into the South McGoffin gym, as I was with the students waiting on their arrival Friday morning.
I had seen a picture of a kindergarten student actually on Twitter, and they had on a class of 2035 t-shirt, which represented their high school graduation year. And I began to think about our kindergarten students as high school graduates. And from there, it just developed into a reading program, and we're doing it this month because it is National Reading Month.
I love your shirts. You've got matching shirts on. Those shirts say Montgomery County High School class of 2036. Wow. So that's your graduation year. You don't see these big kids behind me? Yeah. Do you know why I brought those big kids with me today? Do you know why? Do you know where they went to school when they were small like you?
In high school.
When they were little. When they were little, they came here. They came to South Montgomery. They were little hooters like you. When they were small. Now they're all grown up and they're seniors in high school and they're getting ready to graduate. So, and when they graduate, they may go to college or they may go to work or to the military. They've got all kinds of plans after high school. And one of these days, you all are going to graduate from high school, right?
I wanted to start with giving seniors the opportunity to go back to their elementary school where it all started for them, and to visit with kindergarten students and actually read them the book, Oh, the Places You'll Go. Secondly, I want kindergarten students to see themselves as high school graduates. We need to start thinking about graduation sooner than high school. It begins when you enter school. And lastly, I want families and parents in the community to view these kids, although we don't want them to grow up too soon, we need to view them as high school graduates, and we need to understand that those skills, everything that they learn in the beginning, are foundational for post-secondary success. So you can never start too early by acknowledging that they will be high school graduates. So today we have celebrated the class of 2036.
Anybody want to share with us what they'd like to be when they grow up? What about you? An artist, all right. What about you?
I want to be an artist too.
You're going to be an artist too, that's good. How about you?
Sonic the Blue Hedgehog.
Sonic the Blue Hedgehog. Well, somebody's got to do it. It might as well be you. Yeah.
And with other career goals ranging from everything to Iron Man to teachers, as Meadows impressed on these young minds that to do any of it, they had to come to school. And these current kindergartners and the previous ones all pledged together in unison to do just that and their very best.
To do my best in reading, math, and all the rest. I promise to obey the rules in my class and in our school. I'll respect myself and others too. I will expect the best in all I do. There will be no problem I can't fix when I graduate as McGoffin County Class of 2036. You did a great job. Give yourself a hand.
I think it's really great because it helps the students to see where they can be. They can't imagine themselves in 2036. So just to see the other students and to know that they went here, and for these students that went on to come back and share with our students is wonderful.
Do you feel old?
Yes, very.
Why do you feel older now than you did this morning?
Because I got to come back to my old school and see all the little kindergartners that are in my, like where I was a few years ago.
How long does it feel like it's been since you were here in reality? What's it feel like?
It feels like forever.
Does it really?
Yeah.
Both of you tell me your fondest memory from being here. Or one of them anyway.
Winning cheer competitions.
The principal now held me upside down to teach a lesson to the whole class, so I don't think I'll ever forget that.
Did it work?
No, it didn't. I don't remember what he was talking about in there.
Just real quickly, what did you think about reading to the students today?
It was a good experience, and they were all just so sweet and cute.
I had a lot of fun. It was real fun talking to them. You can tell that they look up to you. They laugh and say they'll miss you and say you're best friends and all that. So they look up to you for sure.
And I think it's just good in talking to them about what they want to be when they grow up and the pledge to really kind of make them help to understand. And we did the whole thing with the thumbprint, and we read the pledge to them and we practiced it, and they had to sign it that that's what they were going to do. The one that he read with the students that he did first, yes. So I think it's just really good to kind of help them to understand the importance of coming to school every day and learning and being a part of it.
And the eclipse, don't forget the eclipse, 1 week from today. The weather not completely favorable at this time. I'm not sure how many of you are going to make the trip to be somewhere under the path of totality. I suspect a great deal of you are, but nevertheless, as the week progresses, we'll have a better idea as to the forecast, as it will be 1 week from today, certainly at this time, well, back to normal.
Weather permitting, next week, this day next week, next Monday, around 2:07 for the 41465 area code, the eclipse will begin. It will be a little more than an hour and 10 minutes or so later, a little after 3 o'clock, that we will see the eclipse as total as it will be for us, which will be 93.2% according to NASA. So seen here with their model that they have for us to work with. And then it will be about another hour or a little more before the eclipse reverses, and a partial eclipse from that point on is gone, and everything is back to normal a little after 4 o'clock. And with that, of course, time frame, McGoffin County Schools will be letting out next Monday at noon, which will be the first day back from this week's spring break. A birthday begins tonight's community calendar. Birthday wishes tonight to a 20-year-old. Chasten Rao, love mom, love dad, love family, love a long list of friends. Happy birthday, happy 20th birthday to Chasten Rao. Happy birthday to you. A big weekend ahead. The Royalton Community Council has and this was a big hit last time, their Spring Fling Trader Days, a long list of vendors coming to the Half Mountain Park this Saturday, 9 till 5, a full day to stop by. I know they're giving away a big door prize, I think, and a whole lot of great deals and really unique things to see. Trader Days coming this Saturday, 9 to 5 at the Half Mountain Park. Brought to you by the Royalton Community Council. Don't forget, this week began our first of 3 weeks of the McGoffin County Spring Cleanup Campaign. This week it's for those of you who live in Magisterial District 1. Next week, District 2, in April the 15th through the 19th, District 3. And this is, of course, for you to put large items that you can't normally put out, but not hazardous waste or construction debris or any type of hazardous liquid. And that does include tires. You can leave tires out with your other garbage. They cannot be on the rim. They cannot be on the rim. And, of course, no businesses are allowed. No commercial businesses, coal truck tires, things of that nature. Just standard automobile tires, not on the wheel, can, of course, be collected or put out with your items. From there, funeral service announcements tonight include first a listing for 63-year-old Connie Montgomery Shepherd of Middle Fork. She passed away Sunday at her home, the daughter of the late Gardner Montgomery and Imogene Bailey Montgomery Gullett. She's survived by a son, Tyler, brothers Ronnie and Forrest and Dwayne and Paul, and a sister-in-law, Alvia Patrick Montgomery, and 3 grandchildren. In addition to her parents, Connie is preceded in death by her husband, Robert, and a stepdaughter, Terry, and a brother, Morris. Funeral services are going to start this Wednesday morning at 11 from the McGoffin County Funeral Home. Friends can visit the funeral home tomorrow from 6 till 9 for visitation. And Wayne Irvin Allen, 90, of Sagersville, passed away Friday. Son of the late Claude and Theo Hazlett Allen, he survived by his sister, Sue Dale Minix, and a host of nieces and nephews and family and friends. In addition to his parents, Wayne is preceded in death by his brothers, Claude Dempsey, Grover Cleveland, and buddy Jack Allen, and sisters Geneva Howes, Juanita Wharton, Marietta Taylor, Avenel Howes, and Shirley Thompson. Services for Mr. Allen will be held Wednesday at 2. The family can call in the funeral home Tuesday at 5, and friends from 6 until 9 for visitation. Regardless of what season it is, you can always find fan favorites of the Ville, Salyersville, at the seasonal shop. For the dudes, Duke and Cannon, Turn Rose, and more. And always something for all the Hornet fans. And for all the ladies, it's always Wildcat season, and it all changes daily. That's why you always have to make a stop at the seasonal shop just next door to Fraser's Prater Drug Store. The best place for all your prescription, over-the-counter, and Radio Shack needs, with some of the very best hometown lunch specials and treats. They're a pair like you can find nowhere else but in Salyersville. Cooked cabbage is back at your Salyersville Lee's, and so is the low-carb plate. I mean, yes, you can call it a low-carb plate because it is. There's barely any carbs in it, but it's also one of the tastiest meals we've got. And the healthiest, low-carb or not. with juicy roast strips, our famous green beans, and yes, that tasty cooked cabbage. A taste and flavor all its own, and only at your Sayersville Lee's. Someone dies in the U.S. every 7 minutes from an overdose, and over half of the population gets or takes pills from a friend or a relative. And about 46 million and counting are exposed to narcotics in their drinking water. So don't toss them, flush them, or leave them lying around. Safely dispose of your unneeded meds anytime at Parkway Pharmacy,
where you can always talk to a pharmacist when you need one.
All right, now it's time to spend a little more time than usual on your forecast for obvious reasons. I think you've more than likely heard about the impending weather and low pressure causing this, and along with some other factors, and the severity of which will be tomorrow more so than tonight. As for our first graphic here, severe weather and flooding, well, there is a chance of some severe weather, a flood watch, a part of it in effect from 8 o'clock tonight through 8 o'clock tomorrow evening. Heavy rains more so expected to be a part of this system and scenario tomorrow. The severe weather outlook has been upgraded for much of Kentucky as enhanced, but that is on tomorrow. And we'll go ahead and head that direction right now with our graphics. For tonight, we are in, as you see, mostly the green area, the very southern part of, or northern part of Montgomery County, into that slight risk category. Most everyone else in the marginal risk. We'll look at your radar in a few moments. Not really seeing too much severe weather potential out there tonight, but again, into your Tuesday is where we'll want to keep an eye on things. Tomorrow we have an elevated and enhanced risk of severe weather tomorrow. That's all of the orange. And what is very important about this is that the same area that we are in the enhanced risk for severe weather that we are for high winds as well. So even without any possible tornadoes, which could develop, we are primed to see some damaging winds throughout the same time period. Anywhere from around noon tomorrow on, I think, for much of eastern Kentucky. That's a time frame, but don't hold true to that. It is the weather, and that could change. There's your severe weather outlook and a little more zoomed out. The moderate risk is the red to the top of your screen, and we are, of course, in the enhanced risk, which is a rung below that on the scale, going all the way up to high, which right now no one is in the viewing area, but other parts of the United States and certainly more to our north, I think, are going to see that purple or high risk area. But we could see some damaging weather. Tornadoes are certainly a possibility with all of this. Tonight, again, not necessarily anything dramatic out there on the radar for the viewing area. As we take a look at current conditions, zoomed out, just a few light showers at the most. Winds are moving out there right now at around 7 miles per hour. Did have a gust of 17 miles per hour earlier, but right now 7-8 miles per hour out of the west. One just hit at 10, so keep that in mind. We do have light winds out there, but as of right now, no serious weather impending for this evening. Still, I can't stress enough, keep your eye on your weather conditions. Before you go to bed, do a checkup, check in, see what's happening, and then be certain to keep your eye on things tomorrow, because that is when we will see the brunt of what we will see out of this system. A 30% chance of showers and thunderstorms continuing overnight, and an 80% chance of showers and thunderstorms tomorrow. Right now, afternoon, I think closer to maybe 2 or 3 o'clock for us looks to be the window. Winds out of the southwest up to 25 miles per hour, just a general statement that does not include any severe weather, thunderstorms, or the like that could develop into your Tuesday afternoon, early and latter evening. And with all of this, an unknown amount of heavy rainfall is possible. So heavy rain and heavy winds, and of course the possibility for tornadoes to develop, is the three things we want to look out for tomorrow. And there is some, of course, chances of hail. Let's throw that in there, too. But again, winds and rain right now is our main focus. Tomorrow night, 30 degrees. We will top out at 76 on your Tuesday, and we'll chop 46 degrees off of that by tomorrow night and then the early morning on your Wednesday. That's how dramatic of a shift it's going to be, and with all that change, that's of course when we could see some severe weather. Wednesday will only hit around 52. Winds will still be out of the west primarily, up to 25 miles per hour at times. A 70% chance of showers and storms, and look for potential of a little snow that night as we get down well below freezing at 26. We'll still have some winds blustering about, and with any precipitation left, we're likely to see some flakes flying as a result, and that will start us off on your Thursday on the same note. Rain and snow showers becoming all rain afternoon after we get to about 44 degrees. Thursday night, you saw we were at 36 degrees. Friday, not so much. 47 for your daytime high on Friday. And then back down to the upper 20s Friday night to start off your Saturday morning and Saturday night. And with that, after we finally start to calm down and clear up, Friday, I'm going to say midday or so, we'll just have some cold air for your weekend, some frosty mornings ahead as well. Saturday starting off in the low 20s and ending the same way, frost and some sunshine, mostly clear skies. Ditto for your Sunday, but a little warmer. Still some early morning frost, but we should be from the low 50s Saturday to the low 60s by the latter half of your weekend. And hopefully climbing up to 71 or so on your Monday, partly sunny, and then bringing back what is going to be a slight chance of some showers that I'm hoping will not grow from there into Tuesday of next week. So with that said, keep your eye on the weather for the rest of this evening, certainly, but certainly tomorrow morning and afternoon, I think, for us as well, because the worst of it will be more than likely rolling through before I'm back with you here tomorrow night at 6. Stay safe, and thank you for watching.